Hello students, today our topic is word processing, which is the 15th chapter of your book, and this is the part 1, so there will be another part of this word processing. So under this we are going to learn about the Microsoft Word application. So that is the application produced by the Microsoft. So first we have to know how to enter and edit data into the document. So this is the place you can enter data. I hope you can see the cursor next to the word. So once you type the word, at the end of the word the cursor will be blinking. So that means you can type again and again, right? Next is iBeam or the iCursor. That is nothing but that is the cursor you have seen in the previous slide also. And then we are going to learn about keys, some special keys in the keyboard. So the first key, the return key. That return key has the same function as the enter key. Once you press the return key or the enter key, it will move to your new line. That means you are going to start the editing text in a new line, right? And then the space bar. This is the longest key in the keyboard. We use this key to leave gaps between words or the letters, a small single gap, right? And then the caps lock key. This key is used to type capital letters. Once you press this key, the light will blink on the keyboard. That means the key is working on. The letters you are going to type after is capital letters. If you want to switch off the caps lock key, again you press on it. Next is backscape key. Backspace key is another longest key on the keyboard. This key is used to delete characters before to the cursor. That means you can delete any character, any word you type before to the cursor, right? Next is delete key or the del key. This is also doing the same thing what the backspace key is doing, but the difference is this will delete the letters or the word which is right side of the cursor, right? And then the shift key. Shift key is a modifier key on the keyboard that is used to type capital letters. In other way of typing the capital letters without pressing the cap lock key, you can just hold down the shift key and press the letter whatever you want, then it will show in the capital case, right? Shift key works like this as I told. First you have to hold down on the shift key and whatever the letter you want to type in the capital, right? Let's say as an example, if you want to type capital A, then you have to hold the shift key with the letter A. So it will type the capital letter. Next is insert key. The insert key is a key on most computers on the keyboard near or next to the backspace key. The insert key toggles how text is inserted by inserting text in front of all the other text of the overwrite text after the cursor as you type. It will decide where to insert the text, okay? And then tab key. As we know, the space bar is used to leave a small gap between the letters or the words. But when it comes to tab key, it is used to keep several spaces at a given time. That means it will keep more than one spaces between the words or the letters, right? And then what is indent marker? That is nothing but the small these arrows shown in the ruler, the indent marker, hanging indent marker and the first line indent marker. As you all see, the first line is bit backwards. That means it pushed a little back when it's come to first line indent marker, and then the right indent marker. So after this marker the word is not go beyond that. So that is the right indent marker, right? And then the SPAG, spelling, punctuations and grammar, right? Okay, when it comes to that, so these are the spelling errors that you can see in the Word document. When it's highlighted using the red color, that means that is a spelling error. But when it's highlighting using the green color, that is grammatical error. When it's highlighting using the blue color, that is contextual spelling error. That means here the no is not suitable between this you and that, right? So especially we are focusing on the spelling errors which have been underlined by red color. Okay, and then we have to format our document. So this is the first formatting we are going to learn, bullet points. We can insert bullet point. When it's come to a list, we use these bullet points. So there are several formats. You can use this circle one, this square one, or this tick mark, whatever the thing you can use when it's come to bullet. So these are the examples when we use bullet points. So we use bullet points to create list, right? Without putting 1, 2, 3, 4, we can use bullets. So these are the outputs you can get. And then the numbering, that is same as bullet. So instead of using the bullet, you can use numbering. This will be the examples for the numbering. The same list you can get with the numbers, right? The next formatting we are going to learn is alignment. That is very important when it's come to a document. There are 4 types of alignments: left align, center align, right align, and justified. We'll see what those, right? So this is left align. See, this is the paragraph almost aligned to the left, right? It's focused on the left ruler, that is left align. Where to find this alignment command bar? Go to home tab, and there you will see the paragraph group. There you have this left align button, right? Next is center align. So this paragraph not aligned to the left, not aligned to the right, that is aligned to the center. So this is what you call center align. This is what you call right align. Earlier it was aligned to this part, this level, and now it is aligned to this side, right side of the document. So that is right align. That is what you call right align. And then the next one is justified text. Hope you can see this is not left align even, right align even, not centered even. All the spaces looks like same. So that is justified, right? So, and then the next formatting we are going to use is tabs. We know what the tab key is doing. So it leaves many pages at a time. So here one tab has set. That I hope you all can see this dark black color sign. There are 2 tab sets. Once you type this and once you press the tab key, it will directly move to this level. And type this and again it will directly move to its 3rd tab, right? So the next one is we are going to learn line spacing. This is not the thing we are discussing, the space between 2 words or characters. This is the space between 2 lines. So you can decide how is the gap should look like within the 2 lines. So that is called line spacing. Here in the paragraph group we have this option, the line spacing, right? Here the line spacing is a bit more comparing to these lines, right? This is here the gap is very less. Next we are going to learn formatting with colors. We can change the color of the fonts. So this is how you do that. You go to home tab, there you will find this font color button. Click this drop down arrow, then this will come. You can select the color that you want to be applied in the text, right? And then the next formatting is change the font type and the size. We change the color of the font like that. We can change the font type by here. You just click down this drop down arrow, then you will find a lot of font types. Hope you can see the type of font is different in here. And the font size, so the font size it is like this. Here the font size is comparing to this, this font size is very large, so you can change the font size by clicking down this drop down arrow. Now here the font size is 16, so you can change the value of the size, right? The next one is text boxes. Without typing the document, just typing the document, you can use a text box. Once you insert the text box, you can type your text within the text box, and you can drag it like an image, whole thing together, right? So how you do that? First you go to insert tab, and then there you have this text box option. Click down this drop down arrow, you will find the different format of text boxes. Once you click, the text box will appear on the screen, then you can type the text inside that. And then we are going to learn what is columns. So this is not the columns in the tables. So this is how we are going to divide our text into columns. Once you select this option, it's in the layout tab. In the layout tab you will find this column here. Once you click down that, so you will find how many columns you want, 1 column, 2 columns or 3 columns. Here it is 3 columns, right? So you can select the type of columns you want, then the text will adjust according to the column. So I hope you have some knowledge about this word processing program, Microsoft Word. So there are some more options to learn. So I'll be joining with you all with part 2 session. So thank you for being with me. Thank you very much, children. Have a nice time.